So I like to sit on something. The reason is that when I'm sitting without something, my knees will be way too high, and then I'm compressing in my groins, and then I can never find, like if I would be sitting low, I'm gonna have a round back. So one of the main reasons why we do yoga is to be able to sit in meditation for a long time, to be able to breathe with an open chest. So if you're already sitting like this, you can't, the diaphragm doesn't have a lot of space to move. So find a comfortable seat. You don't have to sit cross-legged. If that's not good for your knees, you can always sit like this, so on your knees. And then if your knees are hurting, you can put a pillow or a blanket under, between the calf and the thighs. So just so that you find length in your upper body. Take the time to find your seat. We'll stay here for a couple of minutes, so you need to be quite comfortable. And then placing the hands onto the thighs. And then very gently, without too much pressure, you're going to press into your thighs so that you can lift your spine up. So it's not about bringing the shoulders up. It's about lifting the spine, opening the chest. The shoulder blades play a very important role. So it's a good thing to keep the shoulder blades in mind all the time. So what we're trying to do most of the time, except if there is a special movement that we're doing, is to bring the shoulder blades down. So bring the shoulder blades down towards the hips. So as you roll your shoulders back, your shoulder blades are going down and your shoulders are wide. So it's not about this, pressing the shoulder blades together. It's about keeping the shoulders wide. And then take a deep breath in. See if you can find a bit more length into your spine. And then exhale without collapsing. So just observe your belly. Often we have the tendency to really press the belly button in because that's what's going to hold us straight, and then we can't breathe. Then our breath becomes very much in the chest. And chest breathing it's like a catch-22 for stress. If we're very stressed, breathing in the chest, it's normal. It's just our nervous system that needs more oxygen. But if we're breathing in the chest, then we get anxious. So finding that deep breath from your belly all the way up to the chest and down is one of the aims for practicing yoga. So relax your arms. I don't want you to hold onto your knees. So you should be quite relaxed into this pose. So if you're not comfortable, you can always sit on a chair. There's nothing wrong with sitting on a chair. So I'm very happy with using props, because otherwise we try to force in places that don't need to be worked at that moment. So let's take a breath in and just observe now how you feel. You should be comfortably installed. You can close your eyes or you can keep them half open. It's really up to you. If your mind is going crazy, that's the case for 99.99% of us. So doesn't mean it has to be like that, but we have to be realistic that the monk who goes into his cave in the Himalayas has nothing to worry about. So his mind will be very calm. We are living in society. Maybe we're learning something new today. So we're looking forward to it or we're questioning it. It's all okay. Take a couple more breaths here. And then very slowly opening the eyes. Bring the arms to the side. So now your arms are long. De armen zijn lang. Turn the palms up. And then inhale, reach your arms up. You should feel your seat being heavy and then reach your arms up. So this is not easy. It's working a lot of the muscles up to reach up as much as you can. So in yoga, when we do an asana, a pose, we will be using our whole body. So if you say, I'm reaching my arms up, but I'm not going to use my core, then you collapse. So you want to really reach. Even your little toe might be working now. Reach up. Maybe you want one arm up, the other just to lengthen out. Turn the palms out and then press the air down. So feeling maybe the shoulder blades. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn the palms, press it down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now place the left hand down, reach the right arm up. And then again, finding length this time more onto the outside of the right side. Press into your left hand and start to lean over towards the left. So keeping your right bum onto the floor. Dus je mocht echt met je rechterheup naar beneden duwen, reaching over to the left side. Don't go to your maximum immediately. Like move with your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release a little bit more. And then inhale, coming back up. One breath in the center to realign the spine. And then place your right hand on the floor. Reach the left up, lengthening. So finding length into the spine. Imagine your vertebrae need a little bit of space, and then you can lean over. So again, pressing that left hip down, pressing your right hand down, opening up. So we're not leaning forward. We really want to go to that side. If you're here, that's fine. Wherever you are, everybody's body is different. And we all do different movements. We all have different postures. So we're not looking to be all the same. Absolutely not. So don't forget the breath here. And an inhale coming up. This time bring the hands in the back. The fingers are pointing back on the floor. Roll the shoulders back. Lift your chest up. So lifting the chest means the chest bone lifting up. And then press into your fingers and lift the chest up. Look to the ceiling. So opening the front of the chest. This time your shoulder blades are coming together. Taking breaths, especially in the chest. It's going to be a bit more difficult to reach the belly here. Dus vooral in de borst ademen hier een beetje meer plaats maken. De schouderbladen tezamen. And then slowly coming back to center. This time bring the hands in the front so the fingers are flat. The hands are flat on the floor because we're going to push into the floor. Round the spine, bring the chin to the chest. Press, 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 strong arms. Press your sitting bones down. And then coming back to center. Last one here. Inhale, reach your arms up. And again, create that length. And then exhale, turn towards the right. Left hand on the right thigh right hand in the back. So if you're sitting on something, you can place your hand on that or on the floor. So gentle here, we're warming up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate a little bit further. So imagine your spine. If your spine is all rounded, you can't go anywhere and you're probably going to hurt yourself. Your muscles are already in strange positions. So it's better to be long and not going that far than to bend forward and lean back or something like that, whatever you want to do with your body. And then inhale, coming back up and then going to the other side. And then coming back up and exhale. We're going to move on to hands and knees. Dus we gaan op onze handen en onze knieën. If your knees are hurting, I would suggest that you put a little blanket. If your ankles are weak or not very flexible, take a very small towel, roll it, and then you can put it here so that your ankles are not like pressing down. And because if you're going to hold here, then the rest of your body won't be able to do or to focus really on the pose. So bring your wrist underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, your spine is neutral. So neutral is different for everybody. And we're gonna inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly. We're just gonna do the lower part of our upper body. Dus staartbeen naar beneden, belly button naar boven. Just this tilting of the hips, just for a few moments. It's morning, early morning, late night, so everybody is in a different time for the moment. So this might feel very differently whether your body has already spent the whole day running around or sitting, or you just wake up. And then slowly with your next inhale, lift your tailbone, drop your belly button. Imagine your spine being a wave and then roll the shoulders back, lengthen your neck and look up. So this is a cat and cow. In French, chien et chat, which makes more sense. So you can imagine a cat and a dog meeting. But I don't know where the English got the cow from. So rolling back. As you exhale, you're rounding the spine, bring the chin to the chest, pressing into the hands. So this is a very good one to do if you feel stiff in your spine, if you've been sitting all day or in the morning as a first practice. And then coming back to neutral. Let's stretch out the right leg, bring the toes onto the floor. So here, be careful if you have ankle issues. So press the heel back. So that's a big, big stretch in the back of the heel. Press your hands down, strong arms, strong core. Don't lift your right hip. We're just stretching out the leg. So if you have issues with your ankle, I would suggest to just be, or you untuck your toe, or you just go very gently here. There'll be enough chances to stretch out the leg. And then coming back and then changing sides. So pressing back, feeling maybe the calf muscles, pressing into your hands, and then coming back. We're on hands and knees. This time we're gonna lift the right leg up again. So if your balance is not there, you can keep your big toe on the floor. Otherwise, press your heel back, activate the core. Leg is straight. So if your leg is a weight, it's gonna be really difficult. And then reach your left arm. So the opposite arm goes forward, the palm on the inside. Reaching forward, reaching back, strengthening in the spine. You might feel a diagonal stretch into your spine. And then exhale, bring the knee to the elbow. So rounding the spine, bring the chin to the chest and inhaling with control. So working in the abdominal muscles here, reaching forward. One more time. And then reaching forward. Gonna bend the right knee. Grab your right foot with your left hand. If you can't reach, grab your pants. If you can't reach your pants, keep both your hands on the floor and you're gonna lift your thigh. So if you hold onto your foot or your pants, lift your thigh and then pull your foot back so that you're opening the left shoulder and also stretching in the front right thigh. Keep on breathing. And then exhale, hand down, knee down. And let's do 3 cat and cow. So inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the belly, roll the shoulder back, and finally look forward, exhale. So follow your breath here. It's one of the best movements where you can feel your breath guiding the movement. And not like in many sports where the breath is catching up with the movements. And then after your 3rd time, we're gonna go to the other side. So reaching the left leg back, find your stability. Again, if it's too much, then big toe goes on the floor, reaching the right arm forward. So really reaching as if someone was pulling you back and forward. Strong supporting arm, don't fall into your left shoulder. Reach out, front and back. And then exhale, knee to elbow, surrounding the spine, moving slowly. Even if you don't go that deep, that's okay. Know where you can stay. I don't like to use the word control, but where you're not going to collapse, because then we start to suddenly compensate with other parts of our body. So reaching forward, reaching back, and then bending the left knee, grabbing the left foot, the left pant, so keeping your right hand on the floor. Lift your thigh and then pull your foot back so you can open your right shoulder. And then slowly release. Bring the hands at the front of the mat, your knees a little bit more to the back. And we're gonna come into a plank onto our knees. So shoulders above the wrist, the feet are flat onto the floor. My core is active. So I'm not in some sort of squared off plank. I'm a straight plank from the crown of my head to my knees. Press into your hand. Take a breath in and then press your hands down and push your hips back. We're going to start lengthening that spine so that we can go into downward dog. So press your fingers down, the eye of the elbow, so the inside of the elbow. Binnenkant van de elleboog rolt je naar binnen en dan naar boven. So it comes up to the ceiling, wide shoulder. You might feel an opening in the upper back. Your neck is part of your spine, so let it be natural. Push your hips back, find a lengthening in the spine. So there's not a lot happening in my legs here. My feet are soft on the floor. Inhale, exhale. Next inhale, come back to the front. So we're gonna do this 2 more times with the breath. Exhale back. Warming up the joints of our wrists, our shoulders, our knees, and our hips. So using the core to stabilize ourselves, and then stay back. And then now bring the forearms on the floor. Fingers are wide, so you don't want to have your elbows wider than your shoulders. Dus de ellebogen zijn even breed als de schouders en onder de schouders. Anders gaat je hier afsluiten en de bovenrug helemaal openen. So from here, this is a shoulder opener, also preparation. So press your hands down, your forearms down, tuck your toes. So de tenen gaan op de grond. And then slowly start to lift your hips. Don't lengthen your legs yet. Start to press your head between your arms. So forearms are pressing the mat forward. De voorarmen duwen de mat naar voren en je hoofd komt bijna tussen je armen. Afhankelijk van hoe flexibel je bent in de schouders. Never go to pain. If you want more challenge, lengthen your legs. So this is not an easy one. It's dolphin pose. Het is de dolfijn. Heel veel opening in de schouders. Er is veel kracht nodig. Veel flexibiliteit. 2 more breaths. And then bring the knees down. Walk your hands back and come onto your knees. So again, here you can tuck or untuck your toes. It's really what works for you. Hips above the knees, de heupen altijd boven de knieën hier. Place the hands in the back. So the heel of the hand is on the bony part, on the sacrum. If you want more stability, then you tuck your toes. Otherwise, if you find, you can stay here. The knees are as wide as your hips. And now press with the heel of the hand, you're going to press your tailbone down. Je startbeen gaat naar je knieën. Gives a little bit more space into the lower back. Roll the shoulders back, schouders naar achter, schouderbladen tezamen, shoulder blades together, open the chest. Take a deep breath in. And then from your upper spine, beginnende van de bovenrug, gaan we naar achter. We go backwards, we're going into camel. So if you feel pain in the lower back, back off a little bit, bring the tailbone more down, creating space. So we are not bending from the lower back. We're starting from the shoulders, from the upper part. The head can follow, so the neck can go with it, or you can just look forward, depending on how you feel in your neck. Press your hips forward. Roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades together. Heart opening. And breathe. So if you feel you stop breathing, go back a little bit. The body doesn't know where we're going. So very often it's more a reaction that the body, the mind, the nervous system is going to say, oh, what's happening? So you come into that fight and flight. So keep the breath calm or come back a little bit. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly coming back and sit onto your heels. So we're going to, when we do a back bend, we want to make sure that we compensate, that we bring back the spine to neutral. Inhale, exhale. So shake your arms up, out a little bit. Maybe you feel it in your arms. And this time, bring the hands into the front. Bring the knees a little bit more back. We're going into our first downward dog. So fingers wide, the thumbs are almost pointing towards each other. And the weight will mostly be in the fingers, especially the thumb and the index, not so much into the heel of the hand, because then your wrists are taking a lot of weight. Dus vooral in de duim en de index en de andere vingers ook. Niet zozeer op de onderkant van uw palm. Tuck your toes. And then press into your hands. Dus duw in uw handen. Start to lift your hips up. My knees are still bent. De knieën zijn nog altijd gebogen. Same as in dolphin. Press your head between your arms. Dus zoals in dolfijn. Het gaat wel een beetje gemakkelijker nu, want uw armen zijn recht. Lift your hips up. Heupen naar het plafond. Press into your hands. Roll the shoulders out like we did before. So the eye of the elbow is pointing up. Lift up, lift up, lift up. And then stretch out your right leg. So again, watch out if you have ankle issues. This is a big stretch in the back of your heel. In the back of your ankle, I should say. So long stretch into the leg. My spine is neutral. Remember when we were on our knees and we were stretching the spine back? We're stretching the spine. We're not making any rounding or anything. So, and then bend the right knee and then lengthen the left leg. So if you feel that your hamstrings are very tight, if you know, you're probably going to start compensating with the lower back rounding. We don't want that to happen. We want the spine to stay neutral. So bend your both knees, lift your hips, find your neutral spine, and then lengthen both legs. So as soon as you feel that your belly button comes closer to your pubic bone, keep your knees bent. Dus als uw navel, ik heb het gevonden, uw navel te dicht bij uw pubic bone komt, dan gaat uw onderrug helemaal rond worden. En dat wil zeggen dat uw hamstrings een beetje te kort zijn. Dus daar werken we aan, maar je moet dat niet forceren. Dus dan houd je knieën gebogen. So inhale, exhale. You can walk your dog here if he needs to go for a little walk. So just bending one knee, the other knee. Again, consciously, slowly, fast, depending what you need in this moment. And then bring both your knees down. Untuck your toes and come into child's pose. So bring the arms back, maybe shake your wrist out a little bit, and your forehead is going to come down. If your forehead doesn't touch easily, so if you really have a bend into your neck, you can place a pillow or a block underneath your forehead and just breathe here for a few moments. So keeping the knees together for now. And then as you inhale, feel the space being taken in the back body. Dus diep inademen en de rug, de plaats wordt ingenomen in de rug door de lucht die binnenkomt. And then as you exhale, you come back down. So 3 more breaths. Deep breaths. And then with your next inhale, reach your arms forward, tuck your toes. We're going back into downward facing dog. So lift yourself up. So downward facing dog is a pose you're eventually gonna love. Maybe you don't see it yet. It's an all-round pose. So from your hands, lift up as you inhale, and then from your
hips all the way down to the heels. So the energy comes up and then goes back. And now lift your right leg up as high as you can, as straight as you can. Bend. So we're going to bring the right foot between the hands. So bend your right knee and swing your right foot forward. So if your right foot gets stuck somewhere on the mat, grab your ankle and move it forward. And then exhale, bring the left knee down. So again, if you need some support for your knee, you can or you turn your mat or bring that pillow blanket back. And then inhale, come up, hands onto the thighs. Exhale, drop into your hips. So you want to let go into the hips. Dus laten gaan, niet naar beneden drukken. Don't push it down, just let gravity play here. Inhale, exhale. If you want to add your arms, you can bring your arms up. You can bring them in cactus. You can bring them in the back. So many options for the arms. I'll let you see. If your balance is not, if you're too wobbly on your knee, keep your hands onto your thigh. Inademen. En als je uitademt, laten gaan. So with the inhale, we lengthen the upper body from the hips all the way up, like we did when we were seated in the beginning. And exhale, letting go. Next exhale, bring your hands down, keep your toes on the floor and walk your hands back. So the right leg will be stretched, but maybe not fully stretched. Roll the shoulders back. We're stretching the front of the right foot. Inademen, uitademen. And then walk your hands more back. This time lift your toes and your right leg becomes straight. So this is a hamstring stretch. So if you're very tight in the hamstrings, you can, if you have blocks, you can place your hands onto blocks or even go as high as this. If you're okay, then you can walk down, but you don't want to go and kiss your knee. We want to reach forward, long spine. So don't forget, niet vergeten, die spieren in onze dijen zijn grote spieren die we elke dag heel de tijd gebruiken. Dus je wilt die niet overstretchen, want die genezen heel traag. But you still want to make them healthy and happy. And then bring the foot down. Down and bring the knee a little bit closer, or the foot a little bit more to the back. Left hand goes down. Reach your right arm forward. So reach as far as you can, so your heart is reaching forward, and then start to open up towards the right. You want to turn your palm out. Dus de palm gaat naar buiten, opening up, pressing into the left hand. We do it in the linkerarm. If you want to go a little bit further, you can tuck your back toe, lengthen your leg, lift your knee, lengthen your leg, and then push up. So strong legs here. We're not collapsing. It's not just about the arms. It's about the whole body. You're almost compressing your two legs together here. Inhale and then exhale. Bring the hand down and let's move back into our downward dog. Walk your dog a few times. Or whatever you want to do. You can also dance your hips. Maybe if it's evening, you're getting ready to dance. So, and then lift your left leg up. Again, strong right leg, strong arms. We're not just doing a transition. This is a pose on its own. And then exhale, bend your knees. Start to round your spine and swing your left foot forward. Right knee down. Find your stability. So very important. If your knee is not comfortable, you're going to be holding so much in the thigh that you won't be able to release in your groin. Dus uw knie moet heel comfortabel zijn. Want anders gaat je je tegenhouden in je quadriceps en dan kun je die lees nooit ontspannen. So your hands can be on your thighs. So letting go first and then add your arms. You don't have to do the same position with your arms. You can bring them in the back to find a little bit more of a chest opener. As you go back, you will feel that there is even more stretch into the groin. So explore your own body. Inhale. And exhale, bring the hands down. Bring the foot, walk the hands back, sorry. Press the toes down. You really want to press those left toes down. En dan lengthen de leg. Dus we zijn de voorkant van de linkervoet aan het stretchen. Roll the shoulders back, lengthen your spine. And then lift your toes, come onto the back heel, straight leg, hamstrings. Again, if you need to go higher or if you need blocks or books, you can use books for this. So lengthening, exhaling. And then walk your hands back forward. Make the distance a little bit smaller. Right hand on the floor. Right wrist is under the right shoulder. So why is this so important? We're stacking the bones. Dus de botten zijn op elkaar, dus de spieren moeten niet zoveel moeite doen. En dan kunnen we echt die kracht uit de grond komen halen. And then reach your left arm forward, palm on the inside. As you lift your arm up, you're going to turn the palm out and you will feel your shoulder opening. So your shoulder blade is going back. Front knee points to the front toes. So don't let your knee fall out. Strong legs, press into your right hand, lift your left arm up. If you want to go further, tuck your toes, stretch your right leg. And then slowly coming back, and then coming back into your downward facing dog. So stay here for 1 or 2 breaths. And then we're gonna inhale, come into plank. And then exhale, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. So if you know what chaturanga is, you go. Otherwise, uw knieën, uw borst en uw kin op de grond. And then roll in between your arms and come into your cobra. So untuck your toes. Arms are about at the chest height. So uw handen zijn op de hoogte van uw borst. Rol uw schouders naar achter, ellebogen naar achter. Don't press into your hands. So it's a lot of strengthening of the lower back here. As we inhale, maybe you come a little bit higher, maybe not. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep breathing. One more time. Inhale up. This time, lengthen your arms in the back, interlace your hands. Make sure you roll the shoulders back and pull your arms back. If you want to go a little bit further, lift your legs up. So big toes together, lifting up. Lots of work. And exhale, release, bring the hands under the shoulders, tuck your back toes, and come back into your downward facing dog. You're gonna love the downward facing dog. And then from here, if you want to jump forward and you know how, so bending the knees, looking forward and then jumping. Otherwise, just walk your feet towards your hands. Let's inhale, bring the hands onto the thighs. Roll the shoulders back. The legs are straight, dus rechte benen. Especially if your hamstrings are tight, you might want to come up a little bit higher. Your spine is long. Press your hands into your thighs. Push your hips back. Push your legs back. Your neck is part of your spine, so don't look forward. Long, long spine. Take another breath in and then exhale. Roll forward. Dus naar voren, naar beneden rollen. Bend your knees in time so you're not pulling on your lower back if your hamstrings are short. And then from here, grab the opposite elbows. Tegengestelde ellebogen vastnemen met je handen. So you have an impression of a little bit more weight. Drop your head. And then gently roll maybe from one side to the other side. And then from here, bend your knees. Let go of your elbows. Ellebogen laten gaan. Uw knieën buigen. Spine becomes straight. Reach your arms forward. We're sitting in a chair. Press into your feet and come all the way up. And exhale. So we made it up. So let's come in Tadasana. So mountain pose.
We did a whole class on mountain pose yesterday. How to stand, how to prepare to stand. And we have to stand a lot in line these days. So let's work on our posture. So strong feet. Maybe you want to lift your toes. You feel the arches, lifting the kneecaps, activating the quads. Press your toes down now. Your belly button is slightly going in and then up, lifting the chest bone, shoulders rolling back, shoulder blades down. Arms can be quite relaxed, so it's not military style yoga. And then you want to make sure that your cervical spine pushes up to your skull. Dus uw nek, ruggengraat, ja, uw nek, ruggengraat duwt op uw hoofd, zodat het een beetje naar boven gaat. Dus je voelt je lang, maar je moet nog gerust kunnen ademen. So we're gonna go into a twist. I'll show you a couple of options. So inhale, reach the arms up. Make yourself as tall as possible. Make sure you're on an even ground. Some like to move off their mat if the mat is too soft, and then start to bend your knees, but your feet are together unless your knees are knocking when you're standing up. So bend your knees and press your hips back. So the weight comes onto the heels. Uw gewicht komt in uw hielen. Reach up, press down. Watch out that you don't start to compensate with your lower back. So your tailbone is gently coming down unless you have a flat back. And then exhale, I'll turn around. Exhale, hands in front of your heart. So if you know the full pose, go for it. Otherwise, inhale, long spine, lange ruggengraat. Exhale, turn towards the right. We're always starting with the right. Left hand on your right thigh. The knees stay parallel. Right hand on the lower back. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, opening. Dus we gaan trekken op ons rechterbeen met ons linkerhand. En dan de rechterschouder gaat naar boven. En de rotatie gebeurt vooral in de buik. If you want to go further from here, then or you lengthen your left arm on the outside of your right leg, and then you reach your right arm up. So option 2. Or the full pose is palms on top of each other, left elbow on the outside of the right leg, palms on top, and then you press. But we don't want to go like this. We want to stay very centered and then press up. So eventually your thumbs are going to come in front of your breastbone, your shoulders on top of each other, and you're going to feel that beautiful twist. It's quite a hard pose. So, and slowly coming back and press into your feet and come all the way up and exhale. Standing mountain pose, Tadasana. And then we're gonna go to the other side. Reach your arms up, dus armen naar boven. Altijd die lengte gaan vinden, zeker in de ruggengraat als we twisten doen. Feet together if that's okay. If you have knocking knees, separate your feet a little bit, because as you go down, your knees are gonna come together. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend the knees. Press the hips back, so the weight is in the heels. Inhale, exhale, hands in front of the heart. Choose your variation. Hips remain in line with the knees and the feet, and the knees remain at the same height. There's no raise there. So right hand on the outside of the left thigh, left hand in the lower back. And then you start to twist. So using your own body to create some strength. Or you go a little bit deeper and you lengthen both arms or palms on top of each other. So keep on breathing. Maybe you go a little bit more down. Have a look at your knees. Are they still glued together nicely in equal, on one straight line? 2 more breaths here. You can look up if that's comfortable for you. And then exhale, release, and come all the way up. And release. Shake out your legs. Dus yoga is echt iets goed, want elke dag is uw lichaam verschillend. En dus elke dag leert je iets anders bij. We're going to separate our legs, bringing the toes slightly in. So you want to have quite wide legs, but you want to still be able to push the feet down. Dus hier ook oppassen met de enkels als die te veel opzij gaan. Dus je moet echt je voeten nog sterk in de grond kunnen duwen. If you know you have tight hamstrings, you might want to even take a chair or the wall in front of you so that you don't force too much on the hamstrings. Because if you want to go deeper, you might hold in other body parts that you don't want to hold. Bring the arms in the back, interlace your hands. So as we do this, bend your elbows first, roll the shoulders back, and then lengthen. So my feet are wide, toes are slightly pointing in, and that's just to protect the knees. Inhale, long spine, lift your chest. And then from the hip crease, so from that spot, the groin area, we don't want to roll like this. We want to have a straight back. Dus echt kantelen in het bekken, dus van dat scharnier van ons bekken naar voren. Pull your arms back. You can look down. We don't want to force on the neck by looking forward. Pull back. If you can, without dropping the shoulders, you can bring your arms up. Continue going down as your hamstrings allow it. If you feel you're slipping, just watch very carefully here. Press your feet a bit more down. Inhale, exhale, lift your arms up. Don't drop the shoulders, then your whole upper spine is going to collapse. Shoulder blades are glued to each other. Dus de schouderbladen zijn echt samen hier. Uw armen kunnen ook gewoon op uw onderrug of je kunt uw armen op uw heupen houden. Dus niet te samen. And then slowly release the arms and bring the hands onto the floor or onto the block, depending on your hamstrings here. And then bring the right hand underneath your face. So especially if you have tight hamstrings, you want to be a little bit higher. And keeping the hips where they are. We're going to inhale, lift the left arm up. Press your right hip back in place because your right hip will want to follow. But we want the hip to remain in place. So you might not go as high as you want to, but that's okay. You'll feel something. And then coming back. Change hands. So left hand under your face. Linkerhand onder uw gezicht. Op een blok of op een boek of op een stoel. En dan rechterarm naar boven. Right arm up. Adjust your hips so they remain parallel to the floor. And then coming back to center. Now start to round your spine. Drop your head. Let it fall. You can, if you don't touch the floor, grab your opposite elbows. Feel the stretch into your hamstrings. If it's too much, don't go that deep. And now start to bend your right knee and walk your hands towards the right. Dus plooi uw rechterknie, uw handen gaan naar rechts and lift your left toes. Uw linkertenen naar omhoog. Your right heel can be on the floor or it can be lifted. And then if you're balanced, you can bring your hands in front of you, or you can just hold on here. Push the heel away. So stretch into the ankle on the right side again. So be careful. Roll the shoulders back, lift up. So eventually you'll be sitting on your right heel. You'll be balanced and you can do all kinds of things with your arms. Place your hands back down. Gently press into your right foot so that your knee remains in line with your toes. Otherwise, you're going to create a twist into your knee. Walk your hands to the other side. Lift your right toes. And then, so stretching the inside of our right leg. And then slowly coming back to center. Take another deep breath in, maybe lengthening the spine, stretching the legs, and then walking your feet a bit closer, placing the hands onto your hips,
Lengthen your spine and come all the way up. So we're gonna do a balance with a hip opener. Dus een evenwicht positie en opening van de heupen ook. Dus als je weet dat je niet zo goed bent in balancen, houd je vast tegen een muur, maar just the fingertips. And then you can come and push your hips against the wall and the shoulders, or the shoulder blades, depending on how your back is built. And you're about 1 foot away from the wall. So ongeveer 1 voet lengte van de muur. Your feet are a little bit separated, so if you don't use the wall, you can try without the wall. Don't hold on to each other if you're two in the room. Place your hands onto your hips and bend your knees slightly. Dus de knieën lichtjes gebogen. Bring the weight to the left side or to the right side. It really depends what comes for you as first. Lift your right leg up. Open the hip, open the knee. Dus de heup en de knie openen. De voet 90 graden. Foot is 90 degrees. And then you're going to place above the ankle comes above the knee. Dus boven de enkel komt boven de knie. Er is zo'n klein holletje dat je zou moeten kunnen vinden. Keep your shoulders above your hips and then start to bend your supporting leg. Dus uw linkerbeen waar dat je op staat, lichtjes buigen. This should already give you opening in your hip. If you want to go further, if you're balanced. So if you're not balanced, you can put your fingers onto the wall, just the fingertips, and slide down like this. If you're balanced, you can bring your hands in front of your heart. You can still be with just the bum against the wall. And then start to bend from your hip crease. Dus weer van dat scharnier van de heupen met een rechte rug naar voren gaan. Misschien een beetje dieper plooien. Maybe bend a little bit more. You'll feel a bit more sensation. And then bring the arms down. Maybe you're going to touch, maybe not. So really up to you, how far you want to go. If you're close to the floor, at a certain moment, you have to dare to put the hands flat, hook your right toes around your left biceps. Your right knee is behind your right upper arm. And then you look forward because your head is heavy and you can start to lift your back leg. Or maybe not. And then at your own pace, with control, with elegance, we're coming back up and release. So I'm just showing the different levels. Doesn't mean that you have to go all the way down on one leg. So really listen to your body. Luister naar je eigen lichaam, waar dat je nu bent. We zijn al een tijdje bezig. Zeker als het je eerste keer is, dan ontdekt je waarschijnlijk spieren dat je niet wist dat je had. Dus arms on your hips. We go to the other side. So bend your knees slightly. The feet are a little bit wider than hip distance. Bring the weight onto the right leg. Het gewicht op het andere been. Lift up, open up. Flexing the foot. Why do we flex? To protect the knee. So find strength in your whole upper body. Imagine you're in mountain pose, Tadasana. Dus altijd terugkomen naar die standing, naar de staande pose van die zo belangrijk is. And then start to bend your knee. Maybe you feel, so don't start to fold forward yet. Let's find the balance first. And then bring the hands in front of the heart. And then you can start to come forward with a straight spine. Maybe releasing in the arms. Maybe touching the floor, maybe not. Your breath should be fluid. Dus blijven ademen. Als u adem stopt, wil het waarschijnlijk zeggen dat je een beetje te ver gaat. Dus dan komt je een beetje terug, dan vind je adem terug en dan kun je verder bewegen. And then slowly coming up. And release. Shake it out. We gaan naar de voorkant van de mat. So come to the front of the mat. Stand in Tadasana. Mountain pose. Ik heb de Nederlandse vertaling niet gevonden. Bergpose, dat denk ik niet dat ze dat zeggen. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Dus naar voren buigen van de hip crease. Van het scharnier van de heupen, rechte rug, totdat uw onderrug begint bol te worden. En dan buigt je knieën en laat je hoofd en je bovenlichaam vallen. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, down. Bring the right leg back. Right foot comes out. Dus 60 graden naar achter. The front foot points forward. So left foot forward, right foot slightly out. And then slowly come up. We want the hips parallel with the front of the mat. So it's not always easy. So lift your back heel up. Turn your hips as much as possible with the front. It's never going to be perfect because you have one leg back and one leg forward. And then place your heel back down. You want to press with your back heel and the outside of the back foot into the floor. Inademen. Start to bend your front knee. Van voor duwt je met de binnenkant van je voet meer naar binnen. Zeker het kussen van de dikke teen. En van achter is het meer de buitenkant van je voet. En dan je heupen parallel, zoveel mogelijk parallel met de voorkant. So we're going into warrior one. Arms up. You can keep them here. You can bring your arms in cactus. You can keep them on your hips. A lot of strength into the legs. So, sterke benen. En dan kun je bijna alles doen met je bovenlichaam dat je wilt. Inhale, exhale. And then bring the arms down. Interlace your hands. Elbows bent. Gebogen ellebogen. Roll the schouders back. And then you can stretch out your arms. Open the chest. Keep on pressing, especially in the back foot. Dus de achterste voet heel sterk duwen in de grond. En dan komt naar voren, rechte rug. Come forward, straight back. Come on to the inside of your left leg. So if you're here, that's fine. We don't want to necessarily round the spine. So reach your heart forward, hart naar voren. And then press into your feet and come all the way back up. Reach up and then open up. I'm going to turn in a minute. So you're going to adjust your feet. Front foot stays pointing forward. Dus uw linkervoet blijft naar voren. Uw rechtervoet komt 90 graden. En uw hielen zijn op één lijn. Ik zal mij even omdraaien. Dus het kan zijn dat de afstand tussen uw voeten een beetje groter is. Armen naar buiten. Stretch out your arms. And then start to bend your front knee. Front knee will not pass your front ankle. Dus uw voorste knie gaat niet voorbij uw voorste enkel. And then turn the palms up, roll the shoulders back. So shoulder blades, you should really feel them sinking down. Uw schouderbladen zinken in uw rug. And then keep the shoulders where they are and just turn the palms. Look at your left hand, the front hand. Turn the front palm. And then inhale, reach up, dancing warrior. So you want to, again, open up. Stay here for 3 breaths. And then exhale, coming back. Now press into your left foot. Lengthen the front leg. Beide benen zijn gestrekt nu. Bring your left hand into your left hip crease. Linkerhand in uw linker scharnier. En duw uw heupen naar achter. Dus de limiet zal waarschijnlijk zijn in de binnenkant van uw linkerbeen. So press your hips back. Don't lean forward, don't lean back. We're just pressing the hips back. Dus the right hip is lifting. And then reach your right arm up. Het bovenlichaam blijft lang. Left hand comes onto your left thigh. See if you can go maybe a little bit deeper, but keeping the upper body straight. And then you can lower your hand or you can bring it to the side and then opening the chest, pressing the right hip forward. It's triangle, driehoek, een van de moeilijkste poses. Dus maakt u geen zorgen als je hier bent
Of als het belangrijkste is van je bovenlichaam recht te houden, van je heupen comfortabel te houden, maar het kan goed zijn dat er wat stretching is. Inhale, exhale. En dan inhale, back up. Exhale, warrior two. Dus buig de voorste knie. And then bring your hands onto your hips. Turn the left foot in. Turn the right foot out. Dus deze keer rechtervoet naar voren. Linkervoet, so left foot. Adjust it for warrior one. Hips parallel with the front. So one side can be very different. Lift your left knee. Press it down after you adjust the hips. And then start to bend your front knee. Dus hier ook, je wilt niet dat je knie voorbij je enkel gaat. And then you can reach your arms up. Sterke benen. Dus je benen ondersteunen je hele pose. Maar je vindt toch lengte in het bovenlichaam. So always finding that length in the upper body. Don't reach your shoulders towards your ears. And then exhale, bring the arms in the back. Interlace your hands, roll the shoulders back, open up. And press into your back foot. Duwen in je achterste voet. En met een rechte rug naar voren. Straight back, coming forward. Long arms, open chest. Release your hands. Inhale. Inademen naar boven. Uitademen. Draai je achterste voet naar de lange kant van je mat. Adjust the heels so they're in one line. And then exhale, bend your front knee. So just have a look at the front knee. If the knee falls inward, grab your thigh and roll it out. Dus als je bovenste knie naar binnen valt, zet je hand op uw dij en rol uw dij naar buiten. Dat komt van uw heup. Dus het is niet zozeer de knie. De knie die volgt, maar wat er gebeurt tussen de heup en de enkel. Dus so long. Make sure your shoulder blades are back. Turn the front palm. Dancing warrior. Reach up. Find that opening on the right side. Nice opening. Inademen. Uitademen. And then exhale. Coming back into warrior two. Stretch the front leg. Left hand into your left hip crease. Press your hips back. Keep the upper body straight. Dus het bovenlichaam blijft recht. Uw ruggengraat blijft recht. Left hand up. And then gently lower your right. Creating a straight line between your two hands. So pushing that left hip back. That left shoulder back. Long spine. See if you can find a bit more length. And then inhale, coming back. Exhale, warrior two. Press into your foot. Duwing your foot. I'm going to mix the languages at the end. Place the toes forward and heel to your feet a little bit closer to each other. And then end with your toes pointing out. Je tenen naar buiten. Hands onto your hips or arms to the front, shoulders back. And then very slowly start to bend your knees. So if you have bad knees, just go sit immediately. Otherwise, if your heels are not touching, again, be careful with your ankles here. Don't overstretch them. And then open your arms on the inside and bring the palms together. Lengthen your spine. So this is a very good stretch for your ankles. And it's very good for your spine. Dus heel goed voor uw rug ook, omdat er totaal geen gewicht is op uw rug. Dus als je moet, ik weet dat je nu nog niet gaat turneren, maar dat is een hele goede positie voor te turneren. And then bring your hands to the back. And let's slowly move all the way down. Bring your knees with you. So grab your knees, handen rond uw knieën. Gently massage your lower back. Bring your knees above your hips. So they're straight corners. So knees are a straight corner and feet are a straight corner. Your heels are at the height of your knees. Dus uw hielen op dezelfde hoogte als uw knieën boven uw heupen. Open de armen, open your arms in a T.
bring the right leg over the left, as if you were sitting in a chair. And then here, it's really up to you which side you want to go. So for some people, the stretch is too much on one side. We're ending our practice. We zijn aan het einde van onze praktijk. Dus I prefer to go to the right, have the weight of my right leg pulling my left leg down. So it's a big twist into the lower back, keeping the left shoulder down. If you prefer to go to the left side, you get more of a twist into the upper back. So choose what's right for you, or you can do both if you take the time for it. Ideally, you touch both your shoulder and your knees on the floor. For me, that's mission impossible on this side because of my scoliosis. So rustig uitademen. And then come back to center. Undo your legs. Cross them the other way. And then go the other way. So explore what works for you. This too is very good to do first thing in the morning. To warm up your spine, you can move from side to side. En rustig terug naar het midden, back to center. Bring the knees in to your chest, de knieën naar uw borst. Lift your head, lift your shoulders. So make a little ball. We maken een klein balletje. Het hoofd naar boven, de schouders naar boven. Take a breath in. Exhale. Take another breath in. En then exhale, let your legs go. Dus uw benen gaan uitstrekken. Left ankle to left corner, right ankle to right corner. Dus uw benen zijn zo breed als uw mat. Uw voeten vallen naar buiten. Your arms are not in a T and not against your body. Dus de armen zijn ergens tussen de T-positie en gekleefd tegen uw lichaam. Dus ongeveer 45 graden. Take a deep breath in. Goede inademhaling. Exhale through the mouth. Uitademen door de mond. Letting go. Laat uw lichaam zakken op de grond. Ontspan uw gezicht. Relax your face, your forehead, your jaw. Maybe you feel some tingling in the body. So, Shavasana, final relaxation. Your body is digesting your practice, so it's really important. Dus de relaxatie op het einde is even belangrijk als uw hele praktijk. Want laat het lichaam toe van uw praktijk in te nemen, te integreren. You can stay here as long as you want. Blijf hier hoe lang dat je wilt. Zeker als we het van thuis oefenen, dan hebben we die luxe dat we gewoon kunnen blijven liggen, hopelijk. If you need to move out, get out. Start by reconnecting with the breath. Dus als je eruit wilt, dan wilt je eerst terug attent geraken op je ademhaling. Je ademhaling verdiepen, so deepen your breath. Exhale through the mouth, let it go a little bit more. And then bring the legs together, start to move the toes and the fingers. Beweeg de tenen, de voeten, de enkels, de vingers, de polsen. Smile. It will activate muscles on your face. And then stretch out your legs, stretch out your arms. Take a deep breath in.
And then exhale, bring the knees into the chest. Knieën naar uw borst. En dan roll over to the right side, naar uw rechterkant rollen als dat kan. En dan met uw linkerhand op de grond, dus opduwen, terug in een comfortabele zittende positie. So back into a comfortable seated position. Keep your eyes closed. Ogen blijven gesloten. Your chin gently comes down. Je kin een beetje naar beneden. And then, depending what works for you, you can bring your palms together in front of your heart, or one palm on top of each other on top of your heart. Dus afhankelijk wat dat oké is voor u, kunt u uw palmen op elkaar op uw hart of uw palmen tegen elkaar op de hoogte, met de duim op de hoogte van uw hart. Thank you all for practicing this morning or this evening or this lunch. Thank you for your energy. Bedankt. And I wish you a beautiful weekend. Prettig weekend. Namaste.